Our first game preview of the season. It's about time, everybody. Saluki football is back. And even better, Mike Trude, it's going to be here at Saluki Stadium. We hope to see you tomorrow night for the 6 o'clock kick against the Austin Peay Govs alongside Mike Trude. I am Luke Martin. Let's get you ready for this Austin Peay Govs team. Now, Mike, it's a much different program than the last time these two met, especially in 1992. Yeah. But Austin Peay from 2013 to 16, this program only won one game. This is not that same program. They have improved immensely over the last decade, and Coach Walden has just continued that.
Yeah, Scotty Walden is now in his fourth year and in his third conference since becoming a head coach with Austin Peay. They were a program that was as down in the dumps as you could get, and Southern can kind of relate back to the very early 2000s when there was talk of getting rid or at least going down to Division II in football. I think Austin Peay may have been in those kind of serious talks during that stretch where they just couldn't win a football game. But Walden's come in, he's turned it around. They were 7-4 a year ago and really thought they deserved to be in the playoffs. So they're coming into this year with that little chip on their shoulder. They won their conference last year, didn't qualify for an automatic bid, weren't enough teams, finished 3-2 in the league, so not a great league conference record, but they did win 7 overall. They thought they deserved to be in, and Walden wants them to take that next step now, play with that chip on their shoulder, and prove everybody wrong.
Jacksonville State, they were transitioning to FBS. They were in the league. They won the league 5-0, but because they were transitioning, that's why they were ineligible to win the ASUN championship last year. Big reason why they feel they can make that next step on the offense, despite losing their top 2 wide receiving targets. Their top wide receiving target, McCray, went to the Big 12 in Texas Tech. That's life in the day and the age of the transfer portal. But they get their quarterback back. Mike DeLello seems like he checks every box, just like Nick Baker does for the Salukis.
Yeah, he does. DeLello's a grad student, just like Nick Baker is. What's unique about DeLello for Austin Peay, he's the first quarterback under Walden that will play 2 consecutive falls as quarterback. So he's well ingrained into the system. Had a great year, 21 touchdown passes, over 2,400 yards, can run the football as well, gets about 40 to 45 yards per game with his legs. He'll throw it all over the field. He makes all the throws, and Walden wants him to make that next progression this year into being more confident with his throws. He can throw it all over the yard, but last year there was a sense of maybe holding back a little bit at times. This year, Walden wants him to play all out.
Defensively, probably the side of the ball that has been their biggest strength. The last 3 years, they have been a top 50 defense in the country. It's because they've had a lot of strong players on that side of the ball. Now, only 2 starters returned from the team a year ago. They've really hit the portal. A lot of transfers have come in. New defensive coordinator as well, J.J. Clark. He was on staff last year, but now promoted as the defensive coordinator. I'm sure, like them, they're wondering how the Salukis will look on defense with the new face at D.C.
Yeah, they're relying heavily on their defensive end, Javion Young. He's a good one. 30 tackles a year ago, 8.5 tackles for loss. So he's the anchor of the defensive line. They brought in some guys from the portal. They've got a linebacker back from a year ago as well, but the secondary is almost brand new. They were outstanding on defense a year ago. So many question marks this year. The guys they brought in can gel. It's how quickly can they play as a unit. And the first game is always a tough one because of missed assignments. It's the first game of the year. You don't know your opposition. All those things will play into that ball game Saturday night.
There may be question marks for Peay at the offensive side. Who's going to step up in terms of their wide receiving core? Defensively, we just touched up on a lot of new faces. Not a lot of question marks with special teams. They're really strong in that area. Trujillo is back. He's got a cannon of a leg. He hit a 55-yard field goal last year. And then Riley Stevens, their kickoff man and punter, he's got a heck of a leg as well.
Yeah, and special teams is one of those areas. Every game that Southern puts on the board it's an area we have to win. So Southern's got the counterparts to do as well. haven't actually done it yet on a consistent basis like Stevens and Trujillo have for Austin Peay.
It should be a fun one Saturday night. Are you ready for a game? You finally ready for a broadcast, Mike Truitt?
I can't believe it's actually coming. I wish it was tonight and not Saturday night.
I agree, but there's a little bit more time. You can join us for the pregame show starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow, wherever you catch Saluki football, including the Varsity Network app and, of course, our home with River Radio. For Mike Truitt, I am Luke Martin. We will see you here tomorrow night at Saluki Stadium. Go Dogs.